What's good, y'all? It's your boy Untamed, yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Coming at you live for another episode of the Man What Podcast. Man, what?
What?
Like, what's up?
What's happening?
What's up?
I said, what's
I'm here
happening?
with my favorite co-host, Khalil Jamal. They go down every time we touch this mic, and you already know what it is. How you feeling, man?
Man, I feel great, man. It's another beautiful day in Las Vegas, brother. How you feeling?
Oh, God. Man, I'm feeling great, too. I'm not going to lie. It's another beautiful day in Houston, Texas. You know what I mean?
Houston.
If you know, you know.
Houston. Hey, it's Houston, but I got my Harlem World t-shirt on, man. Shout out Dipset. Shout out Mace.
Okay.
Shout out Cam.
You hear the sound of the dip. You hear the sound of the set. Come on.
Jewel's dip. Santana set. When he grit. Yeah.
For real, though. We getting to the bag.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, I want to take this time to thank all of our new fans, all of our new subscribers.
Yes, sir.
If you've been locked in since day one, you already know how hard we work on this podcast. It goes down every single time. Y'all make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe right now.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and share this with somebody. I don't know who, but share this. Share this 3-4 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is Gam Gam's favorite podcast.
Yeah.
This will make her world go round. Gam Gam love us on the Man Well
What's
podcast.
up, Gam
so
Gam?
make sure you tell Gam Gam we got a new episode.
Yeah. Tell her to turn the notifications on, man. Stop
Turn
playing.
them notifications on. Come on.
And you turn them notifications on, too. I want to thank all the supporters.
Oh, God. Oh,
You know what
God.
I'm saying?
It's going down today, man. How you feeling?
Man, I feel great, man. How was your week, man?
Man, my week was good, bro. I'm not going to lie. My week was real good. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I started my new job. I done been on the job for a week now. It's actually, you know, it's really lucrative. I'm making like double what I was making before. So, man, God done blessed me in so many different ways. You know what I mean? Everything smooth, everything copacetic. I love it.
Man.
I love it, man.
Thank God.
Yeah, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
For sure.
That's real.
Yeah.
Same. It's same for me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't started a new job, but I just been working. You know what I mean? You know, it's a work-filled week. Finally got a day off on Wednesday because one of my jobs closed. But, nigga, that day,
No days off.
that day of being off
Yeah.
was like magnificent, nigga. I slept all day. All day, nigga. I slept, nigga. I was knocked the fuck out all day. So I was super, super, super appreciative of that. And I just felt like I needed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, we back though. We back on this podcast, man. Back for the Man What.
Sometimes you need a little rest, man.
Yes, sir.
Gotta
And look,
rejuvenate the
and
body
look,
and the soul.
and look, I just want to tell y'all weekly. Brian already said it. This is Gam Gam's favorite podcast, but this is also your auntie favorite podcast.
Too.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come
Shout
on,
out to the
man.
aunties, man. Shout out to the aunties.
Shout out to that auntie.
I want to shout out the 30 and up crowd watching too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out the 30 and up crowd. You know, shout out the 40 and up crowd.
Shout
You know
out all
what I'm
my
saying?
old heads.
Shout-
Shout out Shout out auntie.
Shout out to the aunts. You know, we do it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because if
do
y'all
it.
don't feel like watching the big podcast, or feel like watching the Shade Room, or feel like watching any of these other platforms that you may be partial to, tap in with the Man What podcast. We giving y'all unbiased opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like every
Tap
week,
in.
twice a week, bruh.
Every
Twice
single
a
week,
week.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes once a week, but most times twice a week. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm letting y'all know,
Sure.
tap in with the Man What podcast, and we gonna get into it. This week in hip hop.
What's going on, man? Let's talk to them. Let's tell them something that they ain't know.
All right, man. Look. First off, Big Sean dropped. Big Sean
Did
dropped
he?
his, yes sir. He dropped his new album Friday, Better Me Than You, and I've spun the
Okay.
album all the way through, while in the gym twice. I spun it once on Friday when it first came out, and then I spun it again yesterday when I was in the gym, which is the second time all the way through. And hey, man, I like the album. There's a lot of songs that I feel like that have to grow on me, but I like what Sean's talking about. I like the creativity of the album. I like the fact that he went to go grab the choirs for some of these songs. And it seems like with this album, as far as the writing, Sean really took his time on this album. You know what I'm saying?
Take my time.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, shout out Big Sean. Shout out Big Sean lyrics. But yeah, it seems like he really took his time with this album. And it seems like he really, really, really was trying to get a message across. Like, you know how every artist has that album where you could really just start to see the personal, like, and the mental growth in somebody?
Yeah.
This is one of those projects for Sean. So I feel like it won't be for the casual listener who who just enjoys Big Sean's like super witty bars, which he has, and like the super like catchy hooks, which he has on this project.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, the bulk of this album is Sean really showing you the growth it took to become him who he is today, as a father, as a boyfriend, as a friend, as a son. You know what I mean? He's talking to his mother on the project. He's talking to his father on the project. He even has a song where he talks about not being so forgiving of Kanye for what Kanye did to him. You know, you know how Kanye went. Obviously, we all know Kanye went on Drink Champs and basically said the worst decision he's ever made was signing Big Sean. And Sean,
which is crazy.
And Sean kind of addressed that on a song that he has called "Apologize," where he's just like, yo, you apologize and you do all this shit for the cameras, but you don't really mean it, and I know you don't mean it because I know you. So he just gets into a lot on this album where you're like, okay, Sean is on man time. And I think before the album came out, we talked about Big Sean. We said that the disconnect felt like he didn't pick a side, meaning like he just didn't dive into whether he wanted to make hits for this album or he wanted to be like the deep guy. But when you listen to the album, I think it's like a great blend of both sides. You know what I mean? Where even the songs that I didn't necessarily love prior to the album coming out, like Yes and Precision, they sounded so great in the flow of the album that I didn't skip them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they weren't my favorite songs, but in the flow of the album, it just seemed like they were where they were supposed to be. So I would say Big Sean delivered. What do I think this album's gonna do in terms of sales?
Yeah, what do you think it's gonna sell, man?
I think numbers wise, I can see this Sean album not doing big numbers, y'all.
So we talking about 25K? What?
Nah. I think Sean will do like 70. I think Sean will 70? do 70. Yeah, I don't think that's.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he's gonna do 70, bro. Like,
I don't think so. I think Sean will do like anywhere from the 70 to maybe like. I wouldn't go 70 and up. I would go 70 and down. So anywhere from like 50K to like 70. Me personally. Because I think that's a lot less than what his last album
too
sold.
Much.
You think it's too much? You think
okay. Big Sean, like, just how you just said, like, this is like a personal album for maybe his core key fan base. And just like we say it all the time, music is so fickle nowadays in 2024. So for him to do 70, I think that's like high because just look at the last couple of albums that dropped. As far as hip hop artists, like nobody's really in that 70 range. Like even the Meg the Stallions, even the Lottos, the Glorillaz, like whoever dropped the album recently, it didn't do too well. I think like the new, I don't know if people aren't listening to hip hop anymore or there's just not a substance or that maybe there's too many of the same type of music being made, but the numbers have fallen, right? The numbers have fallen. And what I will give you an example is I was watching this video of Tusi. I don't know if any of y'all know who Tusi is, but he's like a hip hop R&B type of artist. You know what I mean? He got that song, the love song or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And basically, long story short, he was basically saying that albums aren't really selling right now, tours aren't really selling out right now like they used to, and I think that says a lot to Big Sean's album. Big Sean right now, like, yes, he's going on his press run. You know, it's a good album. It's a good album. There are definitely some good songs on there. But like I said, I feel like this is for his key fan base. And I feel like in order for you to do those type of numbers, the 70s and whatever, you have to have a hit record. You have to. You have to have a hit record in rotation because that's going to be where most of your sales come from. And honestly, like, he put out two songs, but I didn't really hear, like, that hit record that's going to really push his album to do big numbers like that. Yeah. So I give him about 25 to 35K, bro. I don't really see Sean doing more than that because, bro, look what Lotto did, and right now, let's be honest, like, Lotto's hotter than Big Sean right now. You know what I mean? And she didn't really sell like that.
That's true, but I also think Sean just has more of a baked-in fan base than Lotto too. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sean has been here for well over a decade now. Sean's debut album came out in 2011, so you're talking about an artist who's 13 years into his career. So, as opposed to Lotto, who's maybe like 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 or something like that. Which I'm not discrediting Lotto, but I think Sean has given way more to the culture of rap and his fan base than Lotto has. You know what I'm saying? So if Lotto's doing 23, that's fine, but I just think Lotto doesn't have loyal fans. I think that 23 is based off the fact that people are just streaming it, and you have to take into account of her being put in certain playlists for it to do that. I think Sean, even his last album didn't necessarily have a hit, right? But Detroit 2 still sold 100K first week. So I think that just speaks
How many years ago was that, though?
Detroit 2 was in 2020. So it was a little less than 4 years ago. Which
I feel like around that time, from 2017 to 2020, artists were doing big numbers. Like, hip-hop was the number one genre. And a lot of artists were doing those big numbers. Even Trippie Redd, like Trippie Redd dropped the album in that time, and he did really good numbers. I just don't feel like right now, today,
but I also
that people are checking for hip hop.
And you know, I agree with you because I do believe that Detroit 2 was also a bigger production because it had the Lil Wayne feature, it had the Post Malone feature, it had certain records that were like, okay, like, this is gonna go regardless, because regardless of how people felt about the Detroit 2 album, it did have a hit single, which was that Wolves with Post Malone. Like, that shit was massive, you know what I'm saying? So I think with Sean this go round, he has like Thundercat on the album, he has Gunna on the album, he has Kodak Black on the album, he has Bryson Tiller on the album. So these aren't Post Malone level artists, right? But I do think he'll do less than what he did his last album, which was 100K first week. I think this one will be like from that 50 to 60 range. And I instead of just streaming the album, like, even with Detroit 2, I bought Detroit 2 just like I bought Better Me Than You. But I think I'm one of those people who I like to put my money where my mouth is, bro. If I say I support an artist, I'm gonna go ahead and buy that.
You gotta support them.
You gotta support him. So I went ahead and bought the album. It's 21 songs. And it's just one of those songs. I was telling one of my homies, I was telling him that I'm going to be playing this in the gym for probably like the next month, because it's one of those albums where you put it on that first song and it starts your workout good, because it starts out with like a few bangers and then it goes into like the beautiful music, the beautiful sounds, right? So it takes you through the ebbs and flows. So I was like, yo, this album is probably gonna, be in my rotation for probably like the next month because I like the way it flows while I'm working out.
Yeah.
And that's important. Like, how does the music fit into your lifestyle? How does the music fit into how you're listening to it? Because I do think a lot of times people will play an album and you just might not be in that space. Like, it's the same reason why you wouldn't go and play the new Tyrese album in the club. It's just not the vibe for that. You gotta find
the
vibe.
Sure.
You gotta find the vibe for your life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how a lot of people base how good an album is. And sometimes you might just be listening to the album in the wrong place in the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's a good offer though. It's a great enough offer to where I think that I'll tell you this. I think Big Sean has a better project than J. Cole this year.
Okay.
I do. I think that Might Delete Later, even though people don't classify it as an album, it seemed like it was more of a mixtape thing. I do think that body of work is not as good as what Big Sean put out recently. So
well, that's interesting. That's interesting because I found Might Delete Later as a pretty good mixtape. I don't know if it was an album because
it was technically it was like an album mixtape thing. Like
he was still gonna drop an album, but
the lines are still so blurred. And I think just Cole had a bad press year with the Drake and Kendrick thing. Like,
yeah, he really did. I think that really died him down and pushed him to the side. So I don't think
the fall off is not coming this year. I would bet if I had to bet money, I don't think the fall off is coming this year. I think Cole had to go back to the drawing board after withdrawing himself from the Drake and Kendrick beef. Which I think
if he would have dropped it, it would have been a meme, bro.
Yeah, which I think looking back now, we can all say Cole might have made a good decision just because of how we seen the Drake and Kendrick shit transpire, even months after the music. That it's like you don't want to be close to that. Like that's just that's just like a, you know what I'm saying? It's bad,
especially after recanting your statement,
or
your song, and then deleting it. That's crazy. Like,
that's still crazy.
But shout out Sean, shout out Big Sean. Definitely a great album. Hopefully he does those numbers.
I hope. I
don't doubt Sean, but it's not even Sean that I doubt. It's the fans, bro. Like I said, the fans are real fickle right now. They're not really supporting their favorite artists as much as they were a few years ago. So that's basically where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
But I do hope Sean does something with his album.
I do too. And you know what else I think? I want to talk about Travis Scott and the re-release of his project Days Before Rodeo. So Days Before Rodeo was essentially Travis's breakout mixtape, and he re-released it on streaming services this week. And he did like a video for one of the most popular songs on the album, which is called Drugs You Should Try It. And it was projected and it's right, and it's projected to do 227K first week. And
I feel like I keep on saying, like, Travis is definitely a different artist. He's a bigger artist than most. So for him to do 200K, bro, I feel like that comes along with the Kanye stamp.
Well, here's the thing. What a lot of people aren't taking into account is that Travis uses bundles. And a lot of time the bundles will boost your sales. Now, a lot of people would say that that's cheating the game, right? But let me tell y'all something.
Yeah, they didn't let 6ix9ine do it. They took away his bundles.
But the thing is, Billboard has recently attached a new rule to where you have to sell an album along with a piece of product for it to count as a sale. Now, Travis followed those rules and he was able to sell. I don't think that's cheating the game. I think that's using tools to your advantage. And on top of that, if you can get 227 people, let's say it wasn't even 227 people. Let's say off streaming alone, he sold like 50K, right? And then 150K was the people that bought bundles.
Yeah.
I think that's still very impressive because if you can get 150 people to buy something for $40, that's better than them buying a $10 album. Cause Travis,
for sure.
Cause Travis bundled Days Before Rodeo with a vinyl, and then there was like another vinyl with like some extra songs on it. I think that's just as fair as a nigga dropping an album and you buying it for $10. Here's the thing, y'all. This is not back in the day. Like, music isn't a product anymore for most people. It's a click of a button. So if you can translate people like, because the CD is gone, the tape is gone, the whatever is gone. It's the click of a button. You're paying a music subscription now. If 150 people buy your vinyl, or 150,000 people buy your vinyl, or 150,000 people buy your T-shirt, or buy your shoes, or buy your thing, you got to think about it. Certain products have a higher price point than $10 or $15 that you're gonna pay for an album. I think selling a vinyl, or selling some sneakers, or selling a shirt at the price point of triple to quadruple the price of a regular CD is way more impressive than you paying for a CD. It just is. And business wise, if I'm selling you a t-shirt for $50, $75, nigga, you can sell, that's the price of essentially 10 CDs that one fan will most times not buy. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people shit on the idea of bundles, but I think Travis is just using them to his advantage. And I want to kind of move that towards the conversation of YG, where his project only did 8K. But just imagine if he bundled it with something. A lot of times people want the physical product. They want the t-shirt that says the YG quote on it or something. They want the thing that they can wear. Like, you can't wear a CD. You can't brag about having a CD. You could brag about listening to the music, but most people aren't even bragging about listening to the music. They're just putting it in their story. So you have to attach your music to a product. This is the product age, bro. Like, you got to think about it. What's the most popular website or the most popular e-commerce site on the web? Nigga, Amazon. What is Amazon selling? Products. You know what I'm saying? So if you can attach your music to a product, then I think you have a way better chance of selling it than if you're just trying to give somebody some music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like with the bundles, it's definitely gonna boost the sales, and I feel like artists like Travis Scott and Kanye and Nicki Minaj, when they do bundles, their fans are more apt to go and get that because they don't just have the average hip hop fan. They have diehard fans. They have fans that want more. Just how you said, like, the music is not physical anymore. You have to get onto an app and have a subscription. But when they put out these bundle deals, it makes the music tangible. It makes the product tangible. So when you get a pants or you get a hat or you get a shirt or whatever you get, I feel like that resonates more with certain fan bases than just having music out on a streaming platform.
Exactly.
It like extends your hand out more, and like I said, when you have certain fans, they want to support you. They want to rock your shirt. They want to rock your shoe. They want to get your sweatshirt, right? Because they want to show that they're fans. And I feel like a lot of artists nowadays, even though the artists see it as like cheating or pandering or whatever. But just how you were saying, like, I think that it's a great idea because it brings your fans closer to you, and it really lets you see, like, what your fans are really willing to spend money on. And even though it boosts your sales, it should. it should boost your sales because they're spending more, they're engaging more. People are gonna engage more with a T-shirt line or a hat line more than they're gonna engage with the music. Bruh, product sells, merch sells sometimes even more than the music. And Travis is one of those artists where people want to wear his merch, people want to wear his shoe, people want to dress like he does. You know what I mean? So, and another artist that could probably capitalize off something like that is like a Tyler the Creator,
which
like
he does. Which he does
exactly. He has this fan base where they want to dress like you and they want to be like you.
Yeah.
Right. As far as that, I'm sure he's gonna oversell and
of
just
course
exceed expectations. It's Travis Scott. He's
and I
done
think
it time and time again.
And I think as musicians, like as artists, you have to transition from the thinking of selling music to selling product, because essentially you're priming your fans. If your fans buy $100 bundle, right? What's to say they won't spend another 100 or another 70 or another 80 on top of that 100 to pay to come see you in concert? It's essentially market research if you think about it, because you're seeing, okay, how much are these people willing to pay? Because most artists are just like, okay, we're going to put out this album, and the album is essentially free for them on streaming services. But if they buy your thing, if they buy your T-shirt or your $100 bundle or your $200 bundle or your $50 bundle, you get to see, okay, how many fans do I have at this $50 mark? How many fans do I have at this $100 mark? How many fans do I have at this $200 mark? So if you, and it might get smaller every time you go up in price, right? But you have an idea of how far they're willing to go to support what you got going on. So you have to prime them mentally to be like, okay, if Travis is dropping, he's gonna come with an album. Like, he's gonna come with a piece of art, like an article of clothing that I really love, or an action figure, or a box of cereal, or a Fortnite, right? And I think one of the best examples of how it's been done in music is Beyonce. Because anytime Beyonce drops an album, guess what her fans say? Ooh, let me start saving my money for the tour. You know what I'm saying? Because the tour is going to be like $400 ticket, $500 ticket. So they're like, when Beyonce drops an album, her fans get low and be like, I'm going to set my little $400, $500 to the side to be able to go see her in concert. So you have to, and she's done it with, like, she's had her line with Adidas. She's had her clothing line by herself. Like, she's just had certain products that she was able to do that market research on. But I think the most valuable thing Beyonce has is her touring. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And her catalog, because obviously she's Beyonce at this point. But just to show you that you have to do some type of market research and be good at your thing, to where people are like, okay, let me see how much money I would spend on them. Nigga, Kanye West had everybody buying Yeezys at $300 for the cheapest shoe, or $250 for like the cheapest shoe. So you have millions of fans who are willing to pay $200 at minimum. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just where the game is, bro. Like, if you're just selling music, I think you have an old mindset. You have an old way of thinking about the music industry, because most people just aren't going to pay that $10, $15 for an album anymore if it's not coming with some things. Like, I bought, and the reason I say Tyler's kind of been doing this is because back in 2013, he had an album called Wolf. I bought this album. But in the album, there's a calendar, there's a poster, there's all these little knickknacks in the album that kind of make you feel a deeper connection to the album than sometimes even the music. Because you could put these little patches on your backpack. You could put these little packages, these little pins and shit on like your laptop, or stickers and shit on your laptop, posters on your wall, shit like that. It's those little things that really get your fans connected to you in a deeper way, rather than you just dropping an album and being like, hey, support me.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of artists do nowadays. They don't utilize the bundle deals. They don't really put together a package for their fans. They're just like, hey, I drop new music, go support me. I have a little concert here, a concert there.
Yeah.
Nothing like the Beyonce, where her concert is just like an extravagant event, and it's something that you should save your money for, and because
Yeah.
the product that you're getting. It's the same way with Travis Scott. It's the same way with Kanye. They package their product in such a way that it gets the fans going. It really like energizes them towards what's to come, and in turn, that's why artists like Beyonce and Travis and Kanye do so much numbers when they drop, and they have such big tours, and it's because they energize their fans, and they get them going. They just
That's a
make it
fact.
so that the fans are like, man, I can't wait to get this. I can't wait to rock that. I can't wait to listen to this. And it all just goes back to the circle of sales. Like,
Yeah.
so artists, y'all get on your sales, man. When you drop, make sure that you have everything planned out. Make sure you have a hat or a shirt or something tangible
and the
that
thing
people
is,
can hold on to.
And sometimes you don't need to do it just with the album. Just do it because you have a piece of article, like you have an article of clothing, or like a poster or some shit that you want your fans to have. Like, I think a lot of what they do is catering to their fans. It's giving them an experience. It's making them feel like, okay, even when you're not giving me music, I still feel a part of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, when they go to Beyonce concerts, like this past album, the Renaissance album, or Cowboy Carter album, you got the girls wearing the cowboy hats and shit like that. When they go to the merch table, they're buying the Beyonce cowboy hat, or they're going to Tyler show and they're buying the Golf LaFleur, or with Travis, like he might not even be dropping an album, but he's gonna release the shoes, and people are like, oh, those are the shoes I seen Travis wear. So it's just like getting into product in a way where it doesn't seem like you're just trying to push your album, but you're giving your fans an experience, because I think that's very important. I think that the reason why a lot of people loved Kanye is because he gave you an experience. Like, the name of his first 3 albums were all cohesive with one another. You had College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation. People were attached to that story. You know what I'm saying? With Tyler, you had Bastard, Goblin, Wolf. People were attached to, even though it wasn't as big as the Kanye thing, but it was just like a story. Like with Travis, you had Days Before Rodeo. Then you had Rodeo. And I think with every album, Travis builds a world around his projects. Whereas, like, I think a lot of people just are like trying to sell like some songs. So it's like, it's tough for, and I'm not saying every artist needs to be like this, because there's some artists who just are good at the music. But if you're disappointed about your sales, it's probably because you're not doing enough to cater to the people who are listening to you, for them to care enough to be like, hey, I gotta go see what Lotto's doing, or I gotta go see what 21 is doing, or whoever it is. I'm just throwing names out there of people I don't really see doing product like that. But you just gotta attach something to your fans that makes them be like, yo, I have to keep rocking with this person. Or you're just gonna keep doing disappointing numbers and wondering why, hey, why am I not selling like this? It's because people want an experience.
For sure. I agree.
I agree. Oh, more in music. TDE artist Doechii. I don't know if you ever heard of her. She dropped an album. I only listened to maybe like the first couple songs, but from what I heard, man, it sounds like Doechii is going crazy. She's a woman rapper, and I want to say this, man. Hey, she sounds great on the songs that I heard. She sounds phenomenal on the songs that I heard, and I think that I might have to walk back my Lotto take from last week, bro. Off the first 3 songs, I don't want to say it's better than the Lotto album yet, but what I do want to say is I'm listening, and I'm going to spend this week listening to it. And Lotto, if it is better, I'm going to have to come in here and walk it back. I just got to be truthful. Now, a lot of y'all feel like Lotto is the best woman rapper. Now, I don't feel like that. I think the top 2 right now is Nicki and Doja. But Doechii, I'm not open. I'm not opposed to becoming a fan. If you creating a world around your album, I'm with it. And I like the name of the album. You know what the album is called?
What?
It's called Alligator Bites Don't Heal.
Okay.
I think that's such a hard name because she's from Florida. Obviously, everybody knows.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense, right? So I'm just excited about getting into this album because I feel like she's about to create a world, and I get excited when I hear shit like that. I get excited when I see artists like that. I seen her put out a song called Boom Bap, and there was a video of her just kind of like making fun of the fact that people try to put her in a boom bap box. But she's singing on that bitch, she's flowing on that bitch, she's doing all type of just super creative stuff. And I think that it's just a testament to really sticking to your guns as an artist and having a team around you, because she signed the TDE. And you know, anybody that signs the TDE, it seems like they always are given an environment fostered around them where they're just able to create what they want to create with no pressure to like conform to what the norm of the music industry is today. So I think Doechii is one of those artists where she's going to be super exciting, and I'm excited to see what she does. I'm excited to finish listening to that album, and I think she's gonna really, really, really impress a lot of people with what she does. So shout out Doechii and shout out TDE.
Yeah, shout out Doechii.
And shout out TDE. Yo, you text me about this next topic, and I want you to kind of take the lead on this because I see the clips, but I don't know too much about it. YSL Woody, what's going on with him?
Man, YSL Woody is running around this motherfucker like a chicken with his head cut off. Right? He's acting retarded in court.
Yeah.
He's acting like he doesn't understand anything. Mm-hmm. He's really giving them a runaround in court. And what I do want to say about this YSL trial is one of the most ridiculous trials that I've ever witnessed or seen in my life. I've never seen such shenanigans going on. I've never seen such unpreparedness from the from the prosecution. I've never seen this. This is actually the longest trial in Georgia history, right? I think it's been going on 2 years now, right? Without Thug even being found guilty or anything like that, right? So as far as Woody, like I said, I just feel like he's really on the stand. I kind of feel like he's clout chasing. I feel like he's seen the type of buzz that he can get on the internet, and he sees that every time he does an interview, what did they call that? A deposition or whatever. When he talks on the stand, he sees that it goes viral. So I feel like now he's just really playing for the camera. He's really playing to go viral and stuff. And as you can see, like, he's using it to his advantage. He just did a 20v1 by himself, where he had 20 females come, and he was really like bashing them, and you know what I'm saying, really trying to be funny. He's done a lot of different interviews as far as like the Danza Project, and
he did the balloon pop thing with Charleston White. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah. So like I said, I just feel like Woody's really playing on the fans. He's really playing on the internet, and I just can't really take him serious as far as everything that's going on with the trial, bro. This is a fiasco. This is a circus, if you will, as far as the YSL trial.
Do you think this hurts or helps Young Thug? Because initially YSL Woody seemed to be like a witness for the defense, right? Or a witness for the is Young Thug the defense in this case, or is he kind of like he's the
defense.
Okay, so he seems like Woody seemed like he would be like helpful for a witness for the prosecution, right? But
yes, he is.
With him doing all these things that are kind of like, I guess, like disproving what the prosecution brought forth. Do you think this hurts or helps Thug in the end?
Honestly, I just think it's neutral. Like, I feel like they want to get Thug no matter what. They really want to prosecute him, and they want to
convict him.
Yeah, they want to convict him off something, right? Even if it's not the murder of Nut, even if it's not for something extravagant. We got to face it. Like, he's already really been in jail for about 2 years, so I feel like he probably does another 2 or 3 and then be able to plead out and get like probation or something like that. But like I said, I don't think it really helps or hurts Thug, because like I said, they really want Thug. He's really like the main person that they want to stick something on. So I feel like they will find something. I feel like it helps out Woody more than anything. But at the end of the day, like Woody, a few years ago, Woody went in the interrogation room and he told a lot of things. And now he's on the stand when they bring everything that he said up. He's denying everything and saying that he lied and he doesn't recollect any of it. So, like I said, man, this is just a fiasco. I don't know what to really make of it. I'm confused as to what's really going to transpire in the whole situation. All I got to really say is free Thug, man. Free Thug, free Thug, free Thug. Free Spider, man.
Free Thug.
Yeah, it's a circus, bro. So, but I don't really see him just walking away free. You know what I mean? Like like I said, he's already did a couple years of his life. Like he's doing the time regardless. Regardless if he gets charged with anything or whatever, he's still doing the time right now. So I feel like it's a loss either way.
Yeah, I agree. But I think when it comes to this trial, I do think in a way this YSL Woody thing does help Thug. And the reasons I say it helps Thug is because the prosecution seems so adamant that Woody would help their case and kind of like solidify it. So the fact that he got up there and then he seems to like be going back on most of the things that he said, I think now the jury looks at it like, wait a minute, like, was he pressured into saying certain things? Is he a reliable source? Like, we've been doing in a lot of pressure from the outside. This is the longest running case in Georgia history. So I think with all that pressure built up, I think a lot of these people are just gonna be like, hey, I mean, a lot of the jury is just gonna be like, hey, I think this is ridiculous at this point, and if we don't have any concrete evidence to convict him, we should let him go. So I think that's probably what's going to happen. And again, I do think it's taking so long because they know inevitably that might be what happens. So they're just going to try to keep him in jail as long as possible. So even if they do have to let him out, Thug will end up probably doing like 3 or 4 years in prison anyway. And then they'll be like, all right, well, we didn't convict him, but he sat for 3 or 4 years and we fucked up his life in a bad way. So that'll be like their little small victory for this shit. But I don't think when it comes time for the jury to make a decision that they'll convict Thug. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what. Like I said, man, this is a freaking circus. I don't know what's gonna really happen with the trial, but
literally,
they're not just gonna let Thug get a slap on the wrist and walk home free. You know what I mean?
Maybe not.
They're gonna even if, like I said, even if he's not convicted or they throw out the trial or whatever, bro, the man still has went to jail and has been there for years. You know what I mean? So either way, he's been punished. It may not be to the extent that they're trying to nail him, because I feel like the case has fallen so much apart that there isn't really anything that's just like solid, you know what I mean? Right. And basically the real reason that they have him up there is one, for the gang RICO, but also it's because of the murder of Donovan Thomas, you know what I mean? And if you listen to YSL Woody's testimony, he's really saying that it was me. I was the one who did it. Yeah, but free Thug, man. I hope that everything goes on. And before we get out of here, because we are finna end the pod, I just want to say R.I.P. Fat Man Scoop, man. R.I.P. Fat Man Scoop. Definitely a legend. Definitely a monumental pillar in hip hop. He was on stage and had a collapse. And ended up dying that same day. It's crazy because we're seeing a lot of the people that we know and we love just collapsing and dying. We seen it with Big Pokey. We've seen it with Beat King, and now we're seeing it with Fat Man Scoop. So really what I want to say is RIP Fat Man Scoop, and just take care of y'all health, man.
Facts.
But I'm going to go ahead and let Khalil finish this pod out.
I also wanted to just say, yo, man, I just hate seeing footage of this type of stuff, bro. RIP Fat Man Scoop, a pillar in hip hop, a very important person in one of the most prominent hip hop voices, I would say, of the past. One of the most prominent voices of the past 30 to 40 in hip hop history. Sure. Fuck the past 30, 40 years. Just the past hip hop history. Like, if you hear Fat Man Scoop voice, like, if you watch the beginning of You Got Served, if you've ever been to like a party in the early 2000s, like, you always heard Fat Man Scoop music. Like, and I just want to say that putting his collapse on the internet like that, even though y'all didn't know he was gonna collapse, I just want to say, man, y'all gotta have more respect for his family. Y'all gotta have more respect for his kids, his people, the people that love him, than putting him collapsing on the internet. And his last words seemed to have been, everybody make some noise. And it just seems like, man, that is so crazy, because that's kind of what he lived his life telling us to do. Like, turn up, like, you know, be happy, and, you know, enjoy this time. So for us to see him go like that, that really put a damper on my mood when I saw it. But I just want to say, yo, rest in peace to Fat Man Scoop. That's a legend, man. A absolute legend. And we hate to see him go, man. Like, we've lost a lot of legendary people in the past. In the 2020s, man. The 2020s.
Yeah, for sure, a lot.
We started off the 2020s losing Kobe Bryant, y'all. And, like, if y'all just think about all the people that have passed since Kobe Bryant, it's just like, dang, man. Like, we lost DMX. Like, I was listening to DMX the other day, just like, damn, X is really gone. So, again, like Brian said, man, make sure y'all take care of y'all health. Make sure you're very health conscious. Make sure you're loving your family members and telling them how much you love them, and appreciating people while they're here, man, because this thing is not promised. This thing is fickle, man. This thing, it comes and goes, man. It's very unpredictable. Sometimes it feels very dark, but, you know, you just got to appreciate the moments in life where we do have each other. So, again, we just going to end it right there. This has been another episode of the Man What podcast.
Man What?
Yes, sir, man. And I'm here with BP Untamed. It's your boy Khalil Jamal.
You already know.
And this is another episode. So before y'all go, it's gonna be a video to your left, it's gonna be a video to your right, it's gonna be a video somewhere around here. We need y'all to click on that and continue your Man One journey. This is episode 41, y'all. So if you've been watching since episode 1, you've been here for 40 weeks, y'all. Y'all been here for 40 weeks. That's crazy. We coming up on a year of podcasting. Like, that's crazy, y'all. Like, it's we started this podcast in March. It's now about to be what? September? Half a year of podcasting. And we do 2 episodes a week. So I just want to let y'all know, man, look. If y'all on this journey with us, take care of yourself. We love you. And peace.
Enjoy yourselves, man. Peace. RIP Fat Man Scoop. We out.